Good evening and welcome to tonight's council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'm going to ask for is agenda changes.
Mr. Mayor, staff would ask, in consultation with the city attorney, that we add an executive session as the very first item on the agenda for attorney-client privilege.
Okay, you want to do that even before public forum and consent?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I would entertain a motion for that.
Sorry, Denise.
I move that the city council recess into executive session to discuss active contract negotiations pursuant to the consultation with an attorney on matters that would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, exemption KSA 75-4319B2, and ask that in addition to the governing body, the following persons join the governing body in executive session: the city manager and the city attorney. The open meeting and governing body to reconvene in the city council chambers at 7:25 p.m.
Second. We have a motion and a second to enter into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We will be moving to the back room, council. We are back from our executive session. Is there any action to be taken as a result of? Seeing no movement from council, we'll move on our agenda, and next item is public forum. I'll open up for public forum now. If there's anybody here wishing to address the council that's not on the agenda, now's the time. Nobody has stepped forward, so I'll close the public forum. Go on and ask for the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, after reviewing this consent agenda as submitted, I'd make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda stands as approved. Under unfinished business, item 1 is distressed property for 126 East 3rd. And we got some updates from city staff on that.
Yeah, that's the townsman, I guess. In light of recent information, we would make or ask council to continue that to the next city council meeting for further discussions with the property owner.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to table this distressed property hearing until the,
Continue it. Should have tabled it.
continue?
Yeah.
Till next meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to continue the distressed property hearing at 126 East 3rd to the next council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That one will be continued. Next item is distressed property at 603 Spruce. Where are we at on that one, Ethan?
We did get a new or a title report on 603 Spruce that shows or seems to indicate ownership as far as the county records are correct, and that there are no mortgage deeds, trusts, or other lien instruments on the property. So I guess I would defer to Brad at this point of what the city's options are, as we have a property owner that by all documents we're able to get on the property, owns the property free and clear, and is not engaging in the process, so.
Yeah, basically, we'd still go forward with the notice to them. They can choose to participate or not. If they choose not to, by default, we proceed. You take it to the logical conclusion on a distressed property, make the determination as we normally do as to whether the property is 50% dilapidated to such a degree that there's no reason for us to consider rehabbing it, and then bring it to the point where you make the determination as the fact finder if we should take it down and at what point. And you still give the property owner the requisite period of time to do that, whatever you choose to think is reasonable there. And then raise the property if that's in fact what needs to be done. So we'd just plow on ahead at this point. The only thing we had to have was an ownership confirmation, which we have.
And it was pretty clouded, and we weren't really sure. Can you disclose who the owner is?
Bring that in with me, did you?
Is, yeah. Mike Wickers and Brenda Riffle
Okay.
as joint tenants.
Here's my question. Would it be worth our time to reach out to them to see if they just want to quit claim deed that property to the city?
That was gonna be my ask, if we can try and do outreach, and then also, if you all would like, have the city attorney basically prepare that, 60-day, bring us back a plan to either fix the property or have it demoed within 60 days, or we reserve the right for further action.
Sounds good. Do you need any formal action to make that happen?
No, just instruction to prepare the resolution to that degree, which I will do, and bring that to you. In the meantime, it gives us a couple of weeks to contact them directly and see if there's any interest in just making this go away easily from their perspective.
Just to note, we have reached out to them, and there has been no response.
So it's a waste of time.
We'll try again now that we
That
Well, no, and-
confirmation.
report back to you all if that continues to be non-responsive.
All right, any other questions or comments regarding 603 Spruce? Let's move on to distressed property at 217 Main. Where are we at on that one?
217 Main is the former Loose Brick, and we have the same issue there of we've had no contact, no indication from the property owner other than they have signed for all the certified mail regarding it, so they've gotten copies of both resolutions. As with the other property, the ask from the city council via resolution 2023-16 was that either a formal structural evaluation, engineer evaluation be presented to the city on the property, or that the building be taken down. And obviously, the building is still standing and we have no structural evaluation. So, again, I'll defer to Brad, but I mean, I believe the city has the right to move forward with either action. As we're not getting any response, we're most likely probably looking at having to take legal action to get a structural engineer in the building. And I'm sure they'll want to see inside the building, because it's kind of limited to what they can observe solely on the exterior. And then we did note there was some discussion during the work session, I can't remember which governing body member brought it up, about fencing the property. The inspector kind of noted that obviously when you have unknown structural issues, the potential for fencing it off. We did note, obviously, if we do that, we're gonna be blocking off a portion of the Main Street sidewalk and have to go onto Jump Street's property too. So, but we have those options for getting fence, which is $1,500 to $1,800, the last time we priced it out, to get the amount of fencing that we would need, either on a 12 or 24-month term to do that. Because we'd want something a little more stout than snow fence. If the council wants us to do that at this point. So it's up to you all.
I've already spoke my mind about it last meeting, so.
I think we need to fence it off. We know that it's an issue, and I'd hate to see any citizens injured because we chose not to.
When can we get someone inside there?
I think in this particular case, we haven't gotten any responses really. Take and do the administrative warrant, and really the way this one is set up, it wouldn't take very long to get one, 2 to 4 weeks, and you can have someone in there.
Want to proceed with that then?
I would recommend that.
Yeah.
So we can get inside and evaluate it and
That's what
determine where we
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And then it's a little easier for you to determine what, it's not just a pig and a poke kind of a thing. You'll have a better sense of what it's gonna take.
And I think we need to be considering that barricade, the fencing of some sort.
So go ahead and order it then? Is that what you're saying? Order the fence now?
Well, just whenever it fits into the schedule. I'm not-
If we can get that internal inspection in the next month, I think it'll probably be okay, hopefully, until we get that internal inspection, then we can determine.
I say, I mean, that, the city inspector who looked at it, I mean, just noted that that was out of an abundance of caution because the structural element is unknown. I would say we don't have the same cases we did like with the 204 facade where, I mean,
Right.
anyone that looked at that could tell we had major issues.
Walk around.
So, I'm hearing consensus for Brad to get the administrative warrant to get
Yes.
structural engineer in there.
Yep.
Okay. I'll make contact with engineer.
Okay, any other questions or comments regarding 217 Main? Let's move on to 308 Spruce, or 308 Chestnut, rather.
That, we just received the report today. We sent that all to you electronically. So you have the observations. I apologize that you didn't have more time with that before this evening, but this is one of the 2 requested actions with the property. So I would say following what we've done, another is looking or determining what actions the council would want taken on the property, and then conveying that back to the property owner and asking for the definitive timeline for repair, or in the event they're not gonna do the repair, for other action to be taken with the property. And if you all want time with this report, I mean, I think you could delay action till the next council meeting to give you all time to look at this and determine what you think is, yeah, I mean, to the point, some of this is cosmetic and some of it is structural. So,
Well, there are a lot of issues there. I mean, I don't know, what is it, 14, 15? Nonetheless, I believe he needs to give us a timeline when he believes he's gonna get in there and start taking care of it. needs, he has a list here of items that need to be addressed. Give us a timeline and have somebody in there and not leave till they're done.
So basically all 14 proposed structural modifications?
All of it.
Okay.
How possible is that to get it all done before they leave with one company? You
Well,
talking
say what?
about one company or multiple?
Oh, there's, yeah,
companies?
general contractor, he's got all these disciplines on with his company. They could, one company, general contractor could do all this. The concrete, he might have to sub that out, but one general contractor, competent contractor could do all of this.
So is he planning on like rebuilding it? Is that what, I mean, or just
We don't
fixing
know.
it so we don't say nothing about it?
Well,
It needs to be safe.
Yeah, it needs a fence.
the last
Yep.
communicated plans for the property from the property owner was, I believe, to turn it into multifamily housing. So,
I don't know if you've read the report yet, but there's a lot of, like, all those posts and beams, the horizontal beams, the structural vertical posts.
Yeah.
A lot of them, almost all of them need to be replaced.
Totally, yeah.
All the connections, the joints, they're all wallered out, nothing's tight.
Yeah.
I mean, it all needs to go away and put it back together right.
Yeah, it needs a
I
fence.
didn't realize it until Councilman Homewood and Torres brought it to my attention. That second level walkway is all concrete, sitting on top of all those wood posts.
yeah, and I believe, and Brad can correct me if I'm misspeaking here, but beyond asking for the 14 items to be addressed with a timeline, for definitive action, I believe you can also ask that the property be fenced off for safety reasons until such time as those
been
actions
secured,
are,
Yes.
so,
At his expense.
yes.
I guess that's some of the direction, unless anybody's got anything else.
Say, I didn't want to force anything, because like I said, I knew you guys had just received this, 4 hours before the meeting.
I would say that we put a requirement on him right now, today, that he fence the property off
Yeah.
until these safety concerns are addressed. And then, we can work on developing a timeline for that, whether it be 30, 60, 90 days. I mean, getting a contractor in there in 30 days is probably gonna be
It's not gonna
not an easy task, but certainly within a 90-day window, he should be able to get somebody in there.
Well, we could have a detailed plan within
Yeah.
30 days
Yeah.
easily.
There's even a line item in here where the stairs on the south building, they're not even, connected well enough that they would support themselves. And so that needs to be barricaded. So, yeah, a barricade around the property would be great.
Okay. I believe Brad and I can communicate that to his representation and ask for the immediate,
What do you think, council? Fenced off within the next 30 days?
Yes, and moving
his
forward
cost.
to
and then a plan to be brought
taking it
forward.
down.
14 days with milestone dates, or 14 items with milestone dates, excuse me. Okay.
Sounds good to me. Any other questions regarding 308 Chestnut, council? Comments? Okay, that takes care of our unfinished business. We're gonna move on to new business. The first item is Powers First Edition Lots Purchase Proposal. Council and I have discussed this. We appreciate your proposals. We're going to decline the proposals we've received so far, and we will put out a bid package at a later date with requirements to bid on those 4 lots. But currently, we're not going to sell them. So, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Next item is wastewater treatment plant equipment replacement. You got a plan for us on that, Ethan?
It's Pat, actually.
Pat, step out on this side of the camera for a change.
Back, but that's okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council. The item we have here is for the replacement of what we call the fine screen. It goes, it's at the head of the wastewater treatment plant, picks up all the loose floating debris material, gets it out of the stream before it goes through the plant process. A couple of months ago, it failed on us, and the one main gearbox went out, and there's a lot of wear on the rest of it. Got to looking at it is 23 years old, basically. It's been there since the 2000 plant upgrades. We started pricing, just trying to get repair parts, and we really couldn't find anything to replace with. And the vendor, contractor, or the manufacturer all said we'd be better off just replacing the whole unit at this point. We will be reusing all of the electrical components from the control panels. It will have a new motor on it, but beyond that, we'll reuse hopefully all the conduit should line up, and we should be able to just drop this thing in and take off and go once we get it in. It is all stainless steel, so that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. There is a main auger spiral screw that has a lot of wear on it also, so we don't look to have to replace that part of it. And I say this, I think just replacing the whole thing just makes more sense at this point. I did note that I did contact the engineers that are working on the plant upgrades that we're looking at for in the future. And they did say that, yes, the idea that everything they're working on right now is to reuse the headworks that we have and some of the other items that are on that end of the plant. So it's not like we're going to do this and maybe 2 years from now have to just throw it away. This will still be here and in use on the new plant whatever we decide to do with the plant, either.
That was gonna be one of my questions.
Yeah, whether we are upgrading the plant and the other process controls or building a whole new plant, whatever we decide we're gonna wind up doing, this would stay and be used in any of the options we were looking at. So it would be a long-term piece of equipment, not something that would be very short-term.
So what are we saying for costs on this, Pat?
It is $64,280.
It's like parking a truck over there.
Yeah.
How long will the part last?
Well, we got 23 years out of this one, so hopefully at least another 23 years, if not more.
Was our existing one stainless too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were there any other quotes that you tried to get?
No, because this is kind of built for the plant we have or the structure we have now. I don't know that there really is anybody else that could
I was
do
gonna say,
it.
there's probably one vendor for something like this.
Yeah.
It's a custom.
Any more questions, discussion? Well, we need that. Mr. Motion, Mr. Mayor? I would make a motion to approve the West Tech Clear Flow Spiral Screen, model FS 15 for an amount not to exceed $64,280 from West Tech Engineering. Authorizing staff signatures or any necessary documents relating to this purchase.
Second.
You have a motion and a second for this equipment for the wastewater treatment plant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Get it ordered, Pat, and don't go anywhere, because I'm sure you're gonna talk to us about the next issue.
Yes, I am. And thank you for that.
The next item on our agenda is a street sweeper acquisition. Pat's got a plan.
Well, yep, we talked about this a little bit at the work session recently. We did get a quote from Key Equipment. I believe that's who it was, yeah. That is for a used 2017 model Elgin Pelican for $130,000 and change. I did get a chance to go up and look at this machine. It is in really good shape. That was from another city, they said, and they had taken very good care of it. They have gone through it and replaced a lot of the main wear items. It's got all new brushes on it. It's got new rubber elevator in it. They replaced some of the more likely hydraulic hoses that wear out, that are in flexible areas. So they've gone through and cleaned it up and taken care of a lot of those items. One of the things I did like about this unit also, it did have the automatic greasing system on it. So all of the grease points are automatically taken care of, which should help extend the life of all the bearings. There are 4 that are not, and that's all on the steering gear area. So they're just 4 greasers you have to hit manually, and they're more like a monthly thing and not a daily thing, so. We have been using a contract sweeper, and we've been upping our sweeps, and we're still not really, in my mind, getting, like right now, I'd almost like to have the machine out there working on getting some of these leaves picked up out of the gutters before they have a chance to get completely broken down and down into the gutter system and then down into the storm drains. This would allow us to sweep more often on our own instead of waiting on a contractor to come in. I think it's gonna be a well-received machine and should work very well for us. It is also in the price range that if in about 4 or 5 years we decide it's really not working for us, it'll have not, we won't have spent any more money we would have on street sweeping anyway, and be able to say, okay, well, we'll just go back to contracting or look at a different machine at that point. And so I think it's a good way to step into it and not break the bank trying to find out we don't want to do street sweeping, so. But I don't think that's gonna be the problem. I think it's gonna be, we're not doing it enough, so.
What kind of problems do you see when it does get down in our sewer system?
We wind up like, Fifth and Chestnut, that storm drain's always getting packed full of leaves and debris, and we have to go in and flush it out or try to jet it out. If we can't break it loose, we have to get the contractor.
That's
up
why
to-
it floods.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of it, yeah. And it's just this kind of loose leaf debris that gets down in there. And that's the other parts of town too. We don't see it too much in some other parts, but we still get a lot of debris built up and we have to clean them out every once in a while.
You guys use that hydro excavator to do that?
No, usually our sewer jetter,
Oh, I didn't know we had a sewer
yeah,
jetter.
a small one.
How long does that take to?
Well, we spent, almost 2 days, I think, the last time Chestnut, trying to get through several sections of it, trying to get it opened up.
Probably several workers as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
Well, I'd like to say with the cost of this equipment and what we were looking at to do 2 sweeps a year, we could have this unit paid for in 4 1/3 years.
yeah.
And with minimal annual maintenance, right, we talked about that.
Yeah, they were thinking if we're doing, if we do about 4 sweeps a year, that'll probably be 1 main broom. And then he said about he said usually 3 sets of gutter brooms per main broom. And that was about 3,000 for that, and then maybe another 1,000 for annual maintenance.
Right.
So if we wind up sweeping a little more, we may go through a little more of the brooms, but, still probably under 5,000 or 6,000 a year for.
Right, so in 4.5 years, we could have this paid for, and we're gonna get more life out of it than that.
Right, yeah.
So well, I think it's a good deal.
I think we'll end up sweeping more than that myself,
Yeah,
as long as we got personnel available.
To Pat's point, I mean, with the contractor, and it's not that we're unhappy with the contractors, but we do run into issues like if cars are still parked on streets, even though we've done our best to do that. I mean, the contractor's only here for a set amount of time, so they miss those areas. So we have the flexibility, even with staff, to have them come in super early to get Main Street before it's been parked on, or, or with a contractor, they're only gonna operate between 7 and 7, and obviously we can hit it more times a year.
And you have to put signs up downtown, don't park on certain times, so,
yeah.
but
Well, with that, Mr. Mayor, if there's no more questions or discussion, I'd make a motion to approve purchase of the 2017 Elgin Pelican NP 41281 for a price not to exceed $130,325 for staff to sign any necessary documents related to the purchase of this equipment.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of a street sweeper. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Now I think you're done, Pat.
Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you, Pat.
Next item under new business is resolution 2023-25, and that's a boundary resolution. I believe that's is that for the property?
Yeah, that is the boundary resolution that we would send to Harvey County, has the updated corporate limit of the city, and that would incorporate the recently purchased TiVo property into our city limits description. We did engage Garber Surveying to provide us with that legal, so basically, once you pass this, we file that resolution with the Register of Deeds and some other county folk, and the annexation process is officially finished.
Is Garber gonna do an official survey on that?
I did speak to them and ask them to put together a proposal for that.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve resolution number 2023-25, a resolution declaring the boundaries of the city of Halstead, Kansas, subject to the final verification by professional staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2023-25. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That resolution's approved. Next item is the 2024 holiday schedule. We won't have any recognized city holidays next year. You guys are all gonna have to work.
This is just to let the governing body, if there's any strong feelings, these are the 13 that are in the personnel policies that have previously been approved by you all. So this is the date for those holiday or in office closures, just so you all are aware. So really don't need formal action, just general consensus that you all are fine with this holiday and office closure schedule.
Yes, here.
Looks good.
Yep, that's good.
All right, well, that item's taken care of. Next item on our agenda is an IDTech fiber project update. I believe Thomas is here to talk to us tonight. Step on up there, Thomas. Good to see you.
Hi, guys. Council, Mayor. Thank you for having me. Thomas Garrett with IdeaTech. I just wanted to come and give you guys a little bit of an update on the project. I think it's been a while since we've been digging. You remember the mess and the digging, and it's over now. But project was started, I think construction actually broke ground like the first week of January, and we were 90% done, available to do all installs around the end of April, and then finished up in May. And so we've had active service to all homes in the city since the end of April, beginning of May. Did the dark fiber connectivity project through the city locations that I think was handed over to Imagine IT. Ethan, you might check me. That was 11/1, I think, beginning of November. So Imagine IT checked it and lit it, and lit it up with the lit circuit that delivers at the police station, I think. And then Wi-Fi they've been working on, and I think are done as of last week. They had one thing they want to get done, which is their coverage on Main Street isn't as good as they would like. They like to place an additional AP, and we're going to work and see if there's a place that we could get some power for one more AP to get a little better coverage. But other than that, it's all in at the pool, Scout Park, and on Main Street. So I wanted to dig up a couple of stats that you guys might, find interesting. I mean, obviously the build time, 5 months or something, it's, was pretty good turnaround. I know the city was great to work with, awesome. I think everything went fairly good in the field. I mean, it's construction, right? So there's obviously some things, but there's, I think we got like 250 homes on service now, so pretty good turnout. There's a lot of people enjoying better service in the city, and something that I took a little look at, this number isn't perfect, but with you guys coming in and making a commitment with ARPA funds and bringing us to town, and then that agreement including a discount to residents, you've saved people in Halstead about $28,000 since service was started being delivered to homes. So the money's going to work for the people in the town. So I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that.
You base that off of what's being,
Yeah, discounts from our regular service rate to what we offered in that agreement. We had some special service rates to everybody in the city. And so those discounts translate to about that much saving for everybody. So, yep. So that's what I got. I figured I'd come and tell you guys, and there'll be, I think there's a invoice that Ethan has related to the services that we were obligated to deliver in the agreement. And so Ethan has that.
and how does the residents access your Wi-Fi in town?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to, but I think it's just an open, like you can go on and just go downtown and find IdeaTech Wi-Fi and get in. It's like an
IdeaTech
open.
Wi-Fi, okay.
Yep.
When are you guys putting up that new, another AP?
A new AP, I'm gonna work and hopefully talk to Ethan, see if we can find a good place to get a bit better coverage and get some stronger coverage.
So you're saying it's not strong enough downtown yet?
On the north end of downtown, so
North
it's good. There's just on the north end of downtown, they go around and test the signal everywhere to see how good it is, and they're like, man, I think we could get better if we had another AP up north. We just
Where
gotta
is your
find
AP?
somewhere. I don't know. I'm not, reached the end of my knowledge.
That is new.
There you go.
Blue at night.
There you go. They have a blue light on them, so you'll be able to see them. Yeah, you'll see them at the,
Just, 5 gig or?
on the Wi-Fi. Man, you guys are gonna get me with all the technical questions that I don't know the answer to. But I would go log on and do a speed test and let us know what you think of it. I mean, it's there to be used. I wanna make sure it's good for you guys, so.
I've been on Bentley's public Wi-Fi and it's provided by Ideatech and it's fast.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it should be. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't really good. So we always get good comments, so. Yeah, that's really all I had, guys. I just wanted to come and give you an update, and we appreciate the partnership from the city. And, it was, like I said, it was a good project, and it turned around fast, and we're excited to serve your city. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm a customer now.
There you go. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Thomas.
Thomas?
All right, next item on the agenda is reschedule of the next December meeting because it falls on the 25th, which is Christmas. So we can either do it the day after. Or we can skip it, up to you, council.
Say normally we go to Tuesday, with the 2 days, then city offices technically are closed that Monday and Tuesday. We can still get it in with this also being an election year. All of you will need to show up to that first meeting in January, even if you are not, moving past that, so based on elections. But we need you there to, basically close out the final actions of this governing body before we transition to the new one. And with the way the month falls, our first meeting is January 9th. So we're pretty early in the year, I guess. And I know it's a very busy time for everyone, so it's either meeting the 26th, 27th, 28th, or 29th, or just taking all that agenda items and putting them and having that meeting.
I
Based
say
on what
see
you want.
everybody in January on the 9th.
You're gonna be gone?
No.
Yeah. I'd like to try to get business done this year.
Okay.
This year's business done this year.
Yeah, I'd agree. Get it done. Close out the year.
Will that work for you, Derek?
Oh, that's fine, but.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to get this year's business done this year.
So you're saying the 26th or?
26th, 27th, whatever.
27th would be better for me.
27th,
Yeah.
would be better, yeah.
Okay.
Want to keep that at 7 o'clock, or, I mean, you guys can meet earlier, or?
7.
7.
7.
PM.
I would just believe we would want a motion for that meeting change.
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion to reset the council meeting on December 27th, 7 o'clock.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to move our next regular council meeting to December 27th at 7 PM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That meeting has been rescheduled. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2023-AP-23A. A check to Halstead Floral at the Plaza, and since Councilman Lanahan is an owner, we always call these out. What was that check for?
Yeah, I believe it was funeral services for a police department employee.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve check number 120963 to Halstead Floral at the Plaza for $172.99 and approve ordinance number 2023-AP-23A.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2023-AP-23A. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That stands as approved. Next, we do have a non-elected personnel executive session on the agenda, and I would entertain the motion for that now.
How long would you like for that, Mr. Mayor?
2 days.
2 days.
Give me, I get long-winded. Give me about 25 minutes.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I move that the Halstead City Council recess into executive session to discuss review of the city manager performance, personnel matters of non-elected personnel exception KSA 75-4319B1, and asking in addition to the governing body, the following persons to join the governing body in executive session, the city manager and city attorney, the open meeting and governing body to reconvene in the city council chambers at 8:25 PM.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to enter into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We'll move back to the back council.
I assume you won't.
We are back from our executive session. Is there any action to be taken as a result of?
Mr. Mayor, just coming out of executive session, we've had a review for our city administrator, and I would like to propose a merit increase of 6% for our city manager.
Second.
Second.
I was gonna say, would you like to put that in a motion instead of a proposal?
I'm sorry, a motion. That's the motion, I'm sorry.
Well, we have a motion and a second for a 6% merit increase for our city manager based on his evaluation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes. Congratulations, Ethan. Keep doing a good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, just for sake of the city clerk, if you guys can put an effective date on that for her, I believe we need to do that.
We need to make it as, when was your official date supposed to be that we were supposed to do this evaluation?
10-1
So,
is usually.
everybody okay making that
Retro
retroactive?
10-1, sure,
Active? Absolutely.
yes.
You need a motion on that?
Make a motion that we make that retroactive to 10-1 of 23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to make the increase for our city manager retroactive to 10-1, which is his anniversary date. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, now we're good. Now let's move on our agenda. We're ready for the report section of the agenda. And first is governing body comments tonight. I'll start with you, Denise.
Just thank you to the city maintenance staff for helping getting up all the Christmas decorations. I enjoy the lights, especially when our Halstead Bridge is lit up. It's just really pretty and enjoying all of it, so thank you for getting that all done.
George.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Josh.
Nope.
Derek.
Nothing.
Well, for me, I'd like to echo some of Denise's comments. I always enjoy this time of year, being an old electrician. It's always interesting to see what everybody does with their lights. And there are quite a few up in town, so keep up the good work with that. That's all I've got. I'll turn it over to Ethan for his manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council. Just to be brief this evening, and I will send out the formal one. I apologize I didn't get that to you before the meeting. But first, I want to thank the Halstead School volunteers for their community service around town with their Rake and Run event, as well as the students that worked out at Wedgwood, helping with cleanup and raking. Halstead EMS was awarded one, and then they purchased 2 Carter kits, which are EMS kits that are designed to help providers assist with neurodiverse or autistic children. Also want to note the fire department was awarded a fire marshal's grant for $3,400, which will go towards gear. Major public works activities outside of their normal activities included crack sealing on various city streets and then plowing following the snowstorm. Just wanted to note, the city was awarded a $1.5 million grant for the North Street Improvement Project, so we are excited to get working on that project and start the engineering there, and very thankful to KDOT for that, selecting our application for that grant. Just want to thank all the staff that were involved with the Christmas jingle activities, as well as the volunteers to put on that event. I know it was moved up a week, but still, I think it was a very good event. Good to see the downtown businesses participate with activities. So thank you, everyone, for their efforts there. Reminder that we have the city council orientation work session this Wednesday at 6. So everyone is invited to that. And then I also wanted to congratulate staff on the following accomplishments. Officer Crow completed and is now a certified firearms instructor. Chief Orem formerly graduated from the Law Enforcement Leadership Academy and earned his certified public manager credential. Superintendent Eberly was elected vice president of the Kansas Golf Course Superintendents Association. Julie completed Kansas Municipal Auditing and Accounting Guideline training. And then at the recent KACM conference, I was voted onto the Kansas Association of City County Management Executive Board. So very exciting for staff for those professional developments or engaging with their professional associations. So that is all. That's not kind of routine stuff that will be in the written report that I send out.
All right, council, any questions of Ethan's report? Well, if not, that concludes our agenda this evening, and I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you, council.